Hey guys, today I'm doing a mobility piece for you guys. I have a good warm up, but what you can do is when you get to the movements that have a timed piece, you can set a timer, pause this video, move through the movements, and you'll be good to go. This should take about, depending on if you lengthen the movements, it'll take about 35 to 45 minutes. We're going to start with a warm up. We're going to do 10 forwards and backwards wrist circles. If you want to demonstrate that, you can do them slow. You just want to start to get the blood flowing. And once you finish your forward, you can go backwards. Then next we have 10 forward and backward elbow circles. So for that, you can show them. So you're going to hold your arms like this, and you're going to lock out your elbows. You're going to do that 10 times going forward. And you're going to do it the opposite way. Make sure you really lock out your elbows. So you're going to do that 10 times. Then we have 10 forward and backwards, small and large shoulder circles, if you want to show them that. Okay, Chris is having a hard time. So we're going to do forward, small. You're going to do 10. Forward or backwards, small. You're going to do 10. Then you're going to do 10 large forward and 10 large backwards. Once you finish that, our warm-up is over with. We're going to start with wrists for our mobility piece. So that, if you want to show them, 10 forward palm stretches. You're going to get on your hands and knees. So you're going to get into that position. Your fingers are facing away from you. And then you're just going to lean into it as much as you can. What you want to try to do is keep the base of your palms on the ground at all times. If you have to go forward just a little bit less, that works too. Just go as far as comfortable. So you're going to do 10 of those. Then you're going to do backward palm stretches. You're going to do 10 of those as well. This is a little bit more intense. So if you can't have your arms that far away, you can move them closer into your knees because it is quite an intense stretch on your wrist. If you can't go that far backwards, you can also do it, a little bit less of movement or range. Okay, and then we're going to do 10 inverted palm stretches. Remember that? Where your hands are like that. There you go. And you're just going to rock back and forth. Once you do 10 of those, we're going to do 10 fist rocks. So for this, you want to put your hands in a fist. You don't want to have your hands inside of your palms. You want them outside. And then you're going to get on the ground. Your knuckles are going to be touching the ground, and then you're just going to lean into them. So it's almost like your thumb knuckle will kind of touch the ground. You're going to get a good stretch. So you're going to go like this. Your hands are like that. You're going to lean into it like that. There you go. So your thumb knuckle will touch the ground on this one. It gives you a good stretch. Then after that, after you do your 10 fist rocks, we're going to do 10 finger roll stretches. Remember that one? So for that, you're going to get on your hands and your knees, and then you're just going to roll up onto your fingers. Fingers will probably pop. Yeah, it's okay. All right. Then once you finish those, we're going to go into our elbows. So for this, if you have a resistance band, that works. If you don't, you can use a towel. You can demonstrate the towel. We're going to, let's start actually with the flexors first. So for the 10 fist flexors, you're going to literally flex your arms as much as you can, flex your forearms too. Then you're going to go in, this is weird with the mirroring. You're going to go inside. So those are for your flexors. You're going to do 10 of those, and make sure that you're like really flexing. You should feel a burn in it. Then once you finish 10 of those, you're going to go 10 extensors. So that's going the opposite way. Make sure you're flexing there too. When you finish those, you're going to go into your pronated and supinated twists. She's going to demonstrate the towel, but we're going to use the resistance band. So for that, you're going to keep tension on the towel. And for the pronated, you're just going to roll your arms in, twist your wrists in. Good. And then for the supinated, you're going to go the opposite way, so grab it the other way. And then you're going to roll them the opposite way. So your palms will be facing up. Make sure that you're keeping tension the whole entire time on that. It is easier if you have a resistance band, but that's how it works if you don't. Then we're going to go into our shoulders. So we're going to start off with a lateral or lat stretch. Should I just do it on here? Yeah. So for that, you can use a fireplace, you can use a box, you can use a wall, you can use whatever you have, you can use a foam roller. You're showing lat stretch where you put your hands up, or your elbows. Okay, so you're gonna get your elbows on the box, and then you're gonna kind of cross your hands, and you're gonna just stretch into it as much as you can. Try to keep a flat back, and you're gonna hold that for a minute. Once you finish a minute of that, we're going to do a pec stretch. I'll do it the way Max showed us, since the wall's over there. How do I do this? You have his hand on the ground? Yeah. Okay, for the pec stretch, what you're gonna do is you're gonna kneel. Ooh, yeah, I like that one. Okay, you're gonna grab it so your thumb is facing down, and then you're gonna lock out your elbow and kind of lean forward, so you should feel a stretch in your bicep. And you're gonna hold that for a minute. If you can, kind of face away from it, because then you're gonna feel it more in your pec. So you're gonna hold that for a minute. You're gonna do it both sides. Again, all these movements are both sides. And then after we do that, we're going to do the slow and wide PVC pass-throughs. You want to show them that? So you're gonna go a little bit wider than you would on your pass-throughs, and you're gonna do it slow and controlled. You're gonna do 10 of those. Okay, that's good. Then we're going to go into 10 of our scapular retractions. They're called Blackburns. Do you remember how to do those? Okay.
I know what you're going to do with the name, but you're not the Blackburns.
Sorry, okay. That might have to. So for this, you're going to go into a full extension, and you can use a broomstick for this. You can use a PVC pipe. You can use a foam roller. If you don't have that, you can just do the movement as is without the equipment. So you're going to go into a full extension. You're going to raise your arms as high as you can. Then you're going to bring them back, really squeeze in this position. Go forward and down. So going forward, up, back, forward, down, that is 1. You're going to do 10 of those. Oh yeah, and then the next movement is swimmers. So we're also going to do 10 of those. So for that, you're going to go back into your full extension. And then what you're going to do from here is you're going to reach up as far as you can. Bring your arm down to your side. Bring it back. And while you're doing this, you want to squeeze. Okay, so we're going to do 10 on each side. Again, bringing your hand up as high as you can. Down, back around. Okay, and then from there, when you're done with your 10 swimmers, we're going to start our knees. So we're going to start off with a 40-second kneeling layback hold. What you're going to do is you're just going to get on your knees. You're going to sit on your feet, and then you're going to lean back. What you can do to feel it more in your knees is if you squeeze your glutes and your quads, you'll feel a stretch through here. So you're going to hold that for 40 seconds or longer, whatever feels good to you. Then we are going to do 15 knee sliders once you finish that. What this is, you'll get on the ground. You can use a notebook, you can use a paper plate, a Tupperware lid, anything that's plastic that can slide on the ground. You're going to drive your heel into the center of the slider. You're going to lay back. Why is this? This floor. I know, yeah, because it just got clean. Okay, promise this is easier. These floors are still kind of wet. But anyways, all right. You're just going to drive your heel into the center of whatever you're using, and you're going to squeeze, slide up, and then back out. Remember, drive your foot down because that's what's going to really stretch your knee out. You're also going to feel it in your hamstrings. You're going to feel it in your glutes. You're probably going to feel it in your quads. So again, you're going to go like this, and your hips will raise if you're squeezing. Every time you go in and out, that is 1. So you're going to do 15 on each side. Okay. Once you finish your knees, we're going to go into our hips. Krista, do you want to demonstrate the couch stretch? Yeah. Do you want to add that, or are you good? Okay. So for the couch stretch, we're going to hold it for 45 seconds on both sides. You want to get your knee as close as you can to the box. And then you just want to hold it like that for 45 seconds. You can also reach your arms above your head to get more of a stretch in there, but whatever is comfortable for you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, right and left leg. Then we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. So for this one, you're going to get your leg down like this. Then you're going to fold over and stretch out that back leg. You can have your hand here if your leg starts slipping back. If you hold on to your foot, that helps. If it's, a little uncomfortable here, that's fine. But if you can kind of lay down into it, that works too. If this position is a little too aggressive, what you can do is get into a 90-90, which your legs are literally just in 90-degree angles. Then you're going to lean forward. You can even twist a little bit more, and it's going to give you that same stretch. So you're going to hold that for a minute I did it for a minute. I know it says 45 seconds, but hold it for a minute on both sides. Then we're going to do a groiner stretch. For that, it's like a Spider-Man lunge, like we've done in class, but you're just going to put your arm parallel with your leg. You're going to stick this leg out. You can have it your knee touching the ground, but if you raise yourself up, you're going to feel the stretch in both sides of your groin. So you're going to hold this for a minute on both sides. You can kind of rock in this position, forward and back, whatever is comfortable for you. But again, if you keep that knee up, you're going to feel it on both sides. And you're just going to do that for both legs. Then we're going to do a 90-degree wall hold. You can do this without a box, but you won't get the same type of stretch. So I'll show you both. You want to sit. You don't want to be super close to the wall, but you don't want to be super far. You want to find that sweet spot. You're going to lay on the floor. You're going to take your opposite leg and bring it over so it's resting on your leg. Your ankle is resting on your leg. You want to go into a hollow body position, so you don't want to have an arch in your back. You want to pretend that you're pulling your belly button to the floor. Then you're going to drive your hips into the ground so you feel that stretch in your glutes and around your hip. You can also push your knee back a little bit. That kind of gives you more of a stretch. If you don't have a wall to do this on, you can do it without it. Get in that same position and hold your leg. But your back will raise a little bit, so really try to push your hips into the ground. Your butt will be off the ground a little bit, but you can still get that same kind of stretch if you push your hips down. That's the most important part of that stretch. After you do that, we're going to go into a 40-second hamstring stretch. So you're going to get your legs as wide as you can, and then you're going to drive your butt back. Keep a flat back and go down as far as you can. If your back starts to arch, you're too far. So wherever you can get low enough where your back is straight, you're going to lock your knees out, push your butt back, and hold that for 40 seconds. Once you're done, you're going to slowly come out of that. Then for our last piece, we're going to go into our ankles. You want to do the calf mounts? Okay. So you're going to do, yeah. And then you lift yourself up. Yes. So you're going to do this for 45 seconds. I know that says 30, but do it for 45 seconds. You should really feel it all through your calf. You can kind of feel it up through your hamstring as well. Okay, once you do that, you're going to do a 40-second ledge stretch. So you can do this outside. You can do this on a box. You can do it on a plate. Anything that has, a bit of a raise to it. So you're going to put one leg on, then you're going to hang your other foot off. You're going to grab on with your toes, okay? And then you're just going to stretch down. Lock out your knee. You're going to feel this all through your calf, up through your hamstring. So you're going to hold that for 40 seconds. You can bounce around in it or hold it in a static position, whichever works for you. Once you're done, you're going to switch over to the other side. Do the same thing. And once you finish that, you are done.